Good evening, Professor. I'm Nilesh. This is my partner Janavi. We're going to talk about assignment 3, the substance used in esports. Chosen substance is the Adderall, and chosen approach is the science angle. We're going to talk about the first slide, which is about the substance use in esports, negative publicity for the esports industry. The continuing success of esports as a mass phenomenon is accompanied by an increase in challenges regarding governance and regulations. Also, there are many things like cheating and software and hardware cheatings and match fixing. So, the consumption of performance enhancing substance by esport players is an addition to it, and it creates negative publicity for the whole industry, which is the esports. Second, we're going to talk about the cognitive enhancements, also known as the CE. And as esports competitions often last for long hours without considerable rest periods, so the debate about doping in esports centers on cognitive enhancement or CE to stimulate sustained focus and the reaction time. Now, we're going to talk about the single regulating body. So, as we all know that there is no single regulating body, no government body which set any of the rules or any of the medical rules for the esports players. So that's a major gap. Now, the second slide is why substance use occurs in esports. So first point is to stay focused. Long practice hours, which are usually 8 to 12 hours. Substances help to stay focused and alert. So, esport player practice for many hours, and stimulants like caffeine or the Advil can make people feel more alert and help them pay attention longer. So, to reduce the fatigue. Tournaments and scrims can last for long hours again, and players use energy drinks, the most common being Gatorade and the Red Bull or the Rockstar. They help them to, it reduces tiredness and sleepiness. So third is the reaction time. So substances like caffeine and Advil can help to react faster while gaming, and some players believe certain substances like these make the reactions faster to help them think quicker during the intense gameplays. The last is the performance pressure. So esports being a major industry and with the large money prize pools, dollars, millions of dollars of prizes. So because of the competition, the players are always in the performance pressure. So that's why they can use these substances to enhance their performance. Now we want to talk about some common substances used in the esports industry. The first being the caffeine. It is the most common used substance in our daily lives and in esports and in physical sports as well. So esports players primarily consume these caffeines from coffee or energy drinks like Red Bull and Gatorade, and it's often driven by a desire to improve gaming performance and their concentration. Second is gonna be the Adderall. Adderall is the stimulant used by some gamers to enhance focus and alertness, but its actual impact of performance is basically debated because most of the researchers they say that Adderall is used for the people who suffer from the ADHD, and it doesn't help to increase their cognitive skills of the esport players, but uh, it somehow does a little bit, but most of the esport players are confused about this thing, and because there's no regulating body, they prefer taking the high overdoses of the Advil, which cause them health issues. Third being the nicotine. It is the most common thing again because the people can smoke, but as the venues are smokeless, and so the esport players basically use the nicotine pouches or snus to achieve a mental edge without the negative effects of smoking. Now we're going to talk about the esports culture, influence of the substance use. First being the environment built around performance pressure. So esports again include like 10 to 12 hours of practice and continuous grind. So players believe that these substances increase their performance and their focus and decrease their reaction time, and players feel falling behind their teammates and competitors, which basically motivates them and influence them to use all these substances. Basically, this demonstrates how the competitive atmosphere drive player to go to any of the extent and to keep them constantly on. Second is the no proper body of uniform regulations. So currently there is no regulating body or the supervising medical expert that can assist esport players or give them the prescriptions about the proper dosage of medications they use. As a result of this gap, player becomes their own doctor and tries to address the issues like themselves, like fatigue or concentration anxiety, and this can cause the overuse of the substances again. Third is the unhealthy habits, the normalization of them. So esports communities often normalize behaviors like late sleep schedule, long screen times, and unhealthy skipping exercises.
So we'll be talking about Adderall, the psychological and physiological effects. So Adderall is a powerful stimulant and a Schedule 2 prescription drug, which is only mostly used for the treatment of ADHD and narcolepsy, but as it is an performance enhancer, it is used by esports players during response time and reflexes during their game time. So psychologically, it makes the players irritable and aggressive, which leads them, which also makes them their teamwork very bad. So and also social situations can feel overwhelming, and hyper focus can disrupt the daily life. And most of the people who already have anxiety, they can be more anxious and paranoid. Second is the physiological issues. The Adderall can affect the cardiovascular system through sustained stimulant exposure, and it can also lead to less appetite, which can lead to malnutrition. The long-term effects, which people think it's not that much, but it does lead to hallucinations, paranoia, and some cardiovascular issues with seizures. And also, it can alter the dopamine production, which will give on dependency and addiction. Next slide, please. We'll be talking about the benefits. The benefits are that it does make a person alert and wakefulness. And there is also attention, which as it increases dopamine, which will support concentration. There is an increased speed time as the gamers are able to improve their gaming period as even if they're already tired or understimulated. And it also changes motivation, and the increased fatigue does it leads them not to feel that much tired and more energetic. Next slide, please. There are many risks than benefits. The first will be the physical impact. The Adderall does um, harm the cardiovascular nervous system and also suppresses appetite, sleep, and makes um, dangerous interactions when combined with alcohol and cigarettes. And it also triggers depression, anxiety, mood swings, and paranoia. Even if people don't have mental health issues, it can be very addictive because it leads to psychological and physical dependence. And the recovery is not that bad, but people need to know the misuse and get help more fast. Next slide, please. So, lastly, we'll be talking about if Adderall should be regulated or not. Nobody talks about it because everyone is on it. The drugs were introduced as a performance enhancer, but everyone becomes so addicted. And after Frazier publicly admitted that his team took Adriel during the competition, then after that, the ESL started conducting drug tests. The gamers themselves are very confused about if Adderall is a performance enhancer or not. Both the World Anti-Doping Agency and US Doping Agency both consider performance and it as a performance enhancer, but the traditional sports as NFL, NBA, they have Adderall banned on their list. Next, please. These are the references we provided. Thank you for listening.